What do we do about these corporatists, not capitalists, ladies and gentlemen, these corporatists, who do not believe in our liberty, who do not believe that our children being brainwashed is a problem? And so I start in American Marxism in chapter 7 under the section labeled corporations, smartly enough. Ayn Rand observed, quote, the greatest guilt, listen to how brilliant she was, the greatest guilt of modern industrialists is not the fumes of their factory smokestacks, but the pollution of this country's intellectual life, which they have condoned, assisted, and supported. Is that not right on the mark, Mr. Producer? The greatest guilt of modern industrialists is not the fumes of their factory smokestacks, but the pollution of this country's intellectual life, which they have condoned, assisted, and supported. Which is so true. For reasons discussed earlier, I write, and as bizarre as it may seem, many major corporations have adopted Black Lives Matter, other Marxist-oriented movements and agendas related to critical theory, and the Democrat Party's deceitful voter schemes. In a campaign of repression, many seek to squelch free speech, censor non-conforming opinions and beliefs, and ban or boycott individuals, groups, other usually smaller businesses that do not comply with the new orthodoxy, and even Republican state legislatures. Moreover, they are indoctrinating their workforces with the ideology of various Marxist movements as a condition of employment. Remember, I turned this book in over 3 months ago. Of course, Donald Trump banned the federal government from using critical race theory in its training and from doing business with companies that use CRT, and rejected efforts by the Democratic Party and their surrogate groups to eviscerate pre-2020 state voting laws. But these companies have now openly partnered with the Democratic Party against the Republican Party, withholding financial support from the latter and backing more of the former's candidates. Indeed, Joe Biden was their hands-on candidate for president, and Biden has hired numerous executives. Hold on, this is important. You got to turn the page properly. He's hired numerous executives among their ranks. He's hired numerous executives from social media oligopolies, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, corporate CEOs are activists and propagandists for their causes, organizing petitions and letters and other politically motivated public efforts, even basing corporate success on achievements in social activism. Yet while virtue signaling here at home, many of these same corporations are doing business with America's most dangerous enemy, Communist China's genocidal regime. They're expanding their ties with China or trying to enter the Chinese market and are silent about the horrific human rights violations in China, including the forced harvesting of organs, its massive network of concentration camps, and the torture, rape, and murder of Uyghur Muslims, among other minority groups. So much for their social signaling. Again, what can be done? So let me go through some of the ideas I mentioned. Can't go through everything. Number one, each of us in our circle of friends, associates, and neighbors can practice what I call patriotic commerce. That is, become an informed, patriotic consumer. Together we have enormous economic clout, whether purchasing small, everyday products and services, excuse me, or making larger, life-changing financial decisions. Each of us needs to take a little time to determine whether the individual or company with whom we intend to do business shares our worldviews. And I want to apologize. Every month, as you know, I get a needle in my left eye because I had a hemorrhage behind the retina. Today was the day, so I'm reading with one eye closed and one eye open. If they do or are neutral and stay out of politics, then we should support them, that is, corporations. If not, we should not do business with them and even organize boycotts against them as part of our BDS movements. Boycotting is something the American Marxists and their allies and surrogates have been doing for decades. We must push back. In fact, they have greatly ramped up these activities in recent years. Moreover, you should support economically companies that are targeted but refuse to cave to these mob tactics by purchasing their products and services. For example, when Goya's CEO said supportive words about President Trump, his company was boycotted by the Marxist brigades. But the pushback by patriotic Americans was swift and profound, who rallied to the company's aid by purchasing so many Goya products the store shelves were cleared. That's the power you have. The lesson learned is that in addition to personally and collective boycotting companies, we must support pro-American companies as well. Furthermore, use social media to expose, pressure, and organize protests against politically and ideologically hostile corporations. And more on big tech later. Go to shareholder meetings. Listen, go to shareholder meetings in large numbers and make your voices heard. This includes corporate media and big tech companies. The Free Enterprise Project, FEP, files shareholder resolutions, engages corporate CEOs and board members at shareholder meetings, petitions the Securities and Exchange Commission for interpretive guidance, and sponsors effective media campaigns to create the incentives for corporations to stay focused on their missions. And you can assist in these efforts. This group, FEP, can be found here, and I give you the link. Other groups do this as well. You can be a part of patriotic, shareholder-driven campaigns. You can lobby state legislators to investigate these corporations, particularly those that do business with communist China. Pressure them to divest all state pension and other funds from their companies. Again, I don't expect everybody to do everything. I'm just giving you ideas and things that we must do.